Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our channel once again. Samidoh is in deep trouble. The National Police Service has declared him a deserter and have actually ordered for his immediate arrest. In this video, I want us to look at the dark secrets behind the police move to declare Samidoh a deserter and the order to arrest him. But first of all, I have some news about Albert Ojwang. Postmortem has been conducted and the results are actually implicating the police. And my expectations is that the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Langat, should actually take responsibility because he's the guy who ordered for the arrest of this guy in Homa Bay and ordered the officers to bring him to Nairobi where he was murdered. And therefore, he should take responsibility and step aside to allow for further investigations. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to get into that for now. I want us to look at the dark secrets behind the move to declare Samidoh a deserter, because I've always told you that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives. This is the communications from the National Police Service. It's actually from Stockpol Gilgil, and they are using some quotes there. It's actually dated 9th, which was yesterday, and the subject is dissertation from the National Police Service. Please be informed that number, that's the service number, APC Samuel Ndirango Mushoki of Anti-Stock Theft Unit, MTD, company is on the above subject. The officer was granted an off-duty and was supposed to report back on 27th May 2025, but he failed. Since then, he has not been seen and his whereabouts is not known. Efforts to trace him have been futile. He has now absented himself without leave for a period of more than 10 days, and he is hereby declared a deserter with immediate effect. This is from 6th June 2026. And to the pay section, stop his salary with immediate effect. Stockpol MTD, take the necessary action and act accordingly. And address to someone here, Nairobi, circulate in the next issue of the National Police Gazette. Stapol Gatumbiro, kindly visit his home. Listen to that. Kindly visit his home, and if traced, arrest him and inform this end for necessary actions. His own particulars are as follows. Ladies and gentlemen, Samidoh, according to the police, is a deserter. We all know just the other day, Samidoh met with the Deputy President, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, at his residence.
Two-term. My name is Samuel Mushoki. Mimi ni mwanamuziki wa nyimbo za Injili na zingine. I also serve as a police officer under the National Police Service. Na kawaida yangu siongeangi sana mbele ya boss wangu. So I just say thank you for inviting us. Thank you, Excellency.
Stanza moja.
Kwe maudu mahanika agira mundu kaligago kana ni ole moto yagane makarago. Or two-term.
In fact, at that meeting, he met in his capacity as an artist, not as an officer. Ladies and gentlemen, because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, I want us to look at the dark secrets behind the move, because clearly they're saying Samidoh is a deserter, which is not true, because according to another communication, I think now this is what Samidoh has posted, and it's addressed to the Deputy Inspector General. It's actually dated on 25th April. And it says here, travel clearance to United States of America, because that's where Samidoh is. And it states here, Samuel Mushoki Ndirango, reference is made to your letter, reference blah, 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 dated 23rd April 2025 regarding the above subject matter. travel clearance is hereby granted to the above named person to travel to the United States of America for a private visit. The officer will leave the country on 20th May 2025 and travel back on 9th June, which was yesterday. All travel and accommodation expenses will be met privately. So which means the other letter is lying on so many things, because you can't declare somebody who was supposed to travel back on 9th from US to have deserted duties. So the question is, why is Samidoh being targeted? First of all, let us look at some facts. The first fact is that Samidoh is currently known for one term. Why? Because his supporters, who are mostly from the mountain, have been forcing him to sing one term. At an event, he was forced to sing one term, and he sang it. And after that, there was that meeting with Professor Kithure Kindiki, and he changed it to 2 terms. Then after that, there were kind of calls for boycott. But the truth is, one term is something which is gaining a lot of traction from the mountain. And because Samidoh is an artist, he had to. Even in the US there, he was forced at some point to sing one term. The second fact is that yesterday William Ruto met with artists from the mountain. I want to assume that probably that's why Samidoh has been declared a deserter. Maybe the president expected to see him at that event and maybe assumed he boycotted the event. I just want to assume that. And importantly, and this is what I've just explained there, Samidoh is out of the country and is actually in the public domain. He was cleared by the National Police Service. In fact, yesterday, Samidoh took a photo at George Floyd Memorial Park. Remember George Floyd? The guy who was murdered by the police. And he took a photo with him. And for me, he was actually sending a coded message to the police about brutality. He was telling them, please, police, don't do this. Or he was just telling them, I can't breathe. Because he's an artist, he was telling the police, this guy died because he was saying, I can't breathe. And maybe Samidoh was also passing the same message. But I want in this video to reveal to you guys the dark secrets. Before we do that, for those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think someone just decided, the police, to declare Samidoh a deserter when he knows so well that Samidoh was supposed to return yesterday and order for his arrest? For me, number one, I think it could be a wider strategy to try and divert the attention of the country from the death of Albert Ojwang. The police are under a lot of pressure over the murder of Albert Ojwang. Everybody is on that case. In fact, postmortem has been conducted as we speak. And from that postmortem, it's clear that the guy was murdered. In fact, if you even watched his the photos which people took while in the morgue, it was clear that the man was actually murdered. So the government, or the police for that matter, are trying to divert the attention of the country. And because Samidoh is controversial, is popular, and there's a way Kenyans love Samidoh, they wanted to divert the attention from maybe this post-mortem to Kenyans discussing Samidoh. That's why probably we are also discussing it here. Number two, I'm convinced that these are just intimidation tactics and not directed at Samidoh, but the rest of the country. The truth of the matter is that ideally, people in uniform should not participate in politics. For those who follow a lot of political activities, in the last election, someone who is close to Raila Odinga attended, a military guy, a captain, attended one of the events. Raila Odinga was in handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. The military insisted that the guy had to leave because they didn't want anything to do with politics. The guy left. Uhuru could not save him, Raila could not save him. That's how disciplined the forces are. Samidoh is an artist who is also a uniformed officer. So at what point do you classify Samidoh the artist and Samidoh the police officer? So for me, I'm looking at strategy of intimidating not only Samidoh, but any other person who is working and is attempting this one-term anthem. And lastly, really lastly, and number three, and this is the truth, Samidoh did not attend State House meeting yesterday. Ruto met with celebrities from the mountain. Now, can you talk of celebrities from the mountain without Samidoh? Without Samidoh, you can't. So all these problems can be traced, in my view, to that particular incident. Ladies and gentlemen, I also strongly believe, which is my last point, that maybe there is the fear that Samidoh is being used by the Rigathi Gachagua, or Samidoh and his music is actually being used to incite the mountain, and therefore Samidoh might also be playing along to kind of prepare himself for any political eventuality. The truth is, if Samidoh were to declare that he wants to run for a political seat in the mountain today, he will easily win. And I will not be surprised that Samidoh will not be coming back into the country soon. Or if he will come, he will resign, but continue with his music. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Samidoh will join politics, run for an office, and win. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.